Hi guys and welcome back to another DrAce video, and today we're going to be playing MotoGP 23. It is now time for round 15 and it is time for the Indonesian GP of Mandalika. Quick look at our qualifying, and as you can see we will start from the 4th row, that is 12th place. Managed to get through into Q2 relatively okay, but just couldn't do anything in the main qualifying session. I was looking to be good and then unfortunately I just stayed where I was in 12th place. Every rider seemed to get quicker. So here we go then, from 12th position, we wait for the red lights to disappear, and away we go. Oh, not a bad launch. Quartararo got a fantastic launch from the left-hand side though, but of course us struggling with engine power 3 just to try and get back into the position to fight for a decent, respectable position. But up at the inside of Marquez, a little bit of contact given to the 8-times world champion as we now dive up at the inside of the GP22 of Bez, and we are now up into the top 6. So we've doubled our starting position up into 5th place. So Maverick is in the right hander there, so I'm going to try and wait for them to go a little bit deeper, then take over onto the right hand side. I noticed in the qualifying they were going rather wide in that corner, so it was a great opportunity for us to take over. And now here into the left hander, I do feel really quick going through this combination of corners. So here in the sprint we're already up into the podium positions. In 3rd place we go. What a fantastic start here in Mandalika. So just so you know, this is still against 120% difficulty AI, and we still have our disadvantage with the Tech 3 gas. However, interesting to note, the AI don't seem to be as competitive as I thought they would this whole weekend. I thought the qualifying and the practice I would be miles off, but thankfully I was able to hold my own, so I've got a good feeling for this sprint. Oh, got caught on the curb there, and then into the featured race in a couple of moments' time. But so far so good. I was very worried when we started off because of course we had such a sluggish start as we go sideways. Oh, drifting with the RC16 there, almost coming out of contention already in the early stages of this Grand Prix. Just need to calm down a bit and hopefully get back at Bastianini and Pecco. But honestly, the duo ahead of us on the GP23s, those Ducatis, are absolutely ridiculous when it comes to speed, consistency and pace. So we've got to try and stay with them, but that is easier said than done. So, into the left-hand side, this is turn 3, and may I also remind you that this is still a 50% race duration this weekend. We've been doing that all season long, but unfortunately here in Mandalika, it's just a shorter amount of laps. I think that's due to the real-life issues with constant tyre wear. I think they usually reduce the laps here in this circuit, so we have only got 5 laps to contend with here in Mandalika. So this is going to go pretty quick, to be honest. I am considering that maybe the next year we come to Mandalika, I need to up it to maybe 75% race distance, so it would at least be an... Oh goodness me, that's terrible. Really tight to the apex there, so tight. We cut the apex, we went onto the green, we've received a track limit warning. Early stages of this sprint is not ideal to be looking at track limit warnings like that, but to be honest, even if we do get on that penalty, we're still 2 seconds ahead of Brad Binder there in 4th, so this has actually been rather surprising. But yeah, getting back to my previous point, a half race distance has been shortened down a little bit more here in Mandalika, so it might not be too hard, might not be too concerning, and we might be able to hold on to those positions, because of course if you watch the previous race in Motegi, you'll notice that towards the end of the video I was really struggling to keep hold of the positions, and it was so hard against 120% difficulty AI that we just had to accept losing position. So here, when that does happen and the AI gets stronger and stronger as we go tight to the apex again, you can see how much we're pushing now to try and stay within the at least keep the Ducatis in sight. Pecco is a blur in the distance now, but Bastianini's not that far away. And in this first sector, all the way up to probably the next right-hander after this one, and then onto the right-hander there for turn 10, I think that's the closest we're going to get. And there's a quick look at the championship standings on your right-hand side there. We will be gaining 7 points in today's sprint. A further 3 points for Pecco and a further 2 for Enea Bastianini in 2nd place. So we are very much still in contention for a potential 3rd place in this championship. And considering everything we've been through this season and a bike that is completely underpowered, check out the community post if you want to see how underpowered this gas is compared to the rest of the teams in this championship, and you'll understand why this season has been an absolute success here in MotoGP 23. I don't think we could have done a better season, honestly. I think maybe we've adjusted well, we've adapted to where we can. The wet weather races are clearly difficult for us because the AI are just far superior on the hardest difficulty. And we're actually, that lap time there was very close to Pecco's. And that lap time is actually only 0.3 of a second slower than my qualifying lap. That's pretty good performance in the latter stages of today's sprint. And that's what it shows. That's how it is, isn't it? When you're following a rider who's obviously faster with a faster motorcycle, you do get that gumption, that interest to try and stay with them, and that motivation to just continuously keep on pushing. And I'm not giving up on this yet. I really don't think we are going to just sit here in third. I think here, for the right hander for turn 9 and then into turn 10, we might have a chance to close in on the beast as late as we dare on the brakes for turn 10 on the anchors, but we have run it deep. That was a little bit optimistic after all. Quick look behind us. I'm going to be rejoining the circuit in a safe manner. Yeah, I would say roughly that I think we dropped enough time there for that small mistake. I don't know, actually. We're still quite on it. A tenth of a second is all that we dropped against Bastianini, so maybe I should have dropped more time there, but it is what it is, and I'm not going to change it. I'm not changing that now. Bastianini's ahead of us. Oh, I got caught at the curb again. I've got to stop doing that because we lose a significant amount of time on that curb. It's great for braking because it'll really slow you down, but when you're accelerating, it's not ideal. And then into the left-hand side. Wow, I thought Bastianini was going to lose the front then. I was going to get excited somewhat. I would have definitely taken advantage of that. But across the line, as you can see, we're just 2 points shy of the 200-point marker. With Bezzecchi in 4th, he's currently 42 points ahead. Gonna have to dig down deep for the next couple of rounds. We've got the Chang International Circuit. We have Australia, Phillip Island, Valencia, Qatar. Ooh, another track limit's coming in there. Still, and Sepang, of course. There's still plenty of rounds remaining in this one to get that third spot. But there are a couple of tracks in that list that I'm a bit concerned about, so we'll see how it goes. But for now, we're actually closing in quite rapidly on the number 23. Is this an opportunity for us to take second place? 5 seconds clear from Binder. Here we go on the brakes. Late as we can into the right-hander for turn 10. Very tight. Oh, I almost dropped the front. Absolutely on the limit here in Mandalika. Very fast, consistent lap times coming in. All very close and within range of Pecco Bagnaia's fastest time, but I think that's probably it. I don't think I can catch up to Bastianini now. Probably need a few more laps. I'm going a bit deep there to 14. I think that's it. A good effort, and I've got to say, really solid race for us here today. This is exactly what I wanted, exactly what I was hoping for, to get a podium here in Mandalika. It's just brilliant. So I'm really pleased with this one. Pecco Bagnaia will extend his dominant MotoGP lead right now. Bastianini will claim second place, and there is us in third place. I can't say it. Third place, taking 7 points. So there you are then, guys. On the screen is the confirmation of the sprint results. Pecco Bagnaia with a 1:29.2. We were very close to eclipsing his fastest lap time of the sprint, and Franco Morbidelli got the final point. So looking at the other riders, oh, Digi got the fast lap, 1:28.6. Goodness me. And there's Paul down in 22nd. 0 points for my teammate. Good to see we've moved ahead of Jorge Martin now for that 6th place. 5th place is definitely much on now, but getting to 3rd is probably going to be a difficult challenge, but I'm certainly up for it. Alright then, guys, we had a pretty successful sprint there. Can we replicate that here in the full race? We'll wait for the red lights to go out, and then I guess we'll find out together then, won't we? So on to the power. Look at Joan Mir. He was fast. We're going to drop all the way down to 17th just because of our lack of power on the straights. Lord Almighty. Wow, that's really tight to the apex. That's a track limit warning as we get a bit of a contact with Brad Binder behind, and now making more contact. I'm actually pushing Marco Bezzecchi through. I'm doing him a favour in the early stages of this Grand Prix. Pecco's out like a shot again, and now into the right-hander. We're through on the beast. So this is a better start than the sprint, if you can believe that. And here we will have to concern ourselves with the fuel, so we're going to have to be a little bit more careful. But to be honest with you, power setting 2 feels better in those corners than they did with power setting 3. Around the outside of Oliveira then. Beautifully done here in the early stages of this featured race. Oh, I'll take that. And if you enjoyed that overtake, be sure to hit the subscribe button. And of course, on the screen right now, as you can see, is a objective against the Frenchman, Johan Zarco. He's the one who declared it to be an interesting battle amongst the two of us. But I'm afraid for Zarco, he's down there in what? I can't even see. He's not even in the top 10, I don't believe. 4.5 seconds behind us. So, Johan, the last time a Frenchman sort of reached out to us and had a pop, we beat him. And that was in the form of Quartararo. Now it's going to be the same thing for you, my friend. So, yeah, don't come at me. Stay by yourself. So into the left-hander for turn 17. Pecco Bagnaia has the 1.7 advantage. Across the line, it's now up to 2 seconds, so I think that actually might be curtains already against the soon-to-be 3 times MotoGP World Champion. Or in fact, it would be 2, wouldn't it? Because this is dated the same year as MotoGP's real-life season, so I guess it would just be 2. Regardless, it doesn't really matter. It's Pecco Bagnaia leading the way from us in second place. And look at that 3, though. Look at that top 3. Pecco Bagnaia, Fetch Ducati, makes sense. Second place, the Tech 3 KTM, the Tech 3 Gas is in second place. And then we have the RNF Aprilia of Miguel Oliveira. So those 2 teams that I had given as an option when I first started the MotoGP 23 career mode in the MotoGP class are right there in podium contention. Unbelievable. Never would have seen that coming in a million years. But I gotta say, I've had this sort of weird rivalry with Oliveira and Raul because simply I didn't want them to do better and to prove me wrong for picking the Tech 3 Gas. But honestly, I think they could win the next 4 races and they still won't compare to the season we have had with the Tech 3 Gas. I think we've done brilliant. We've done everything we possibly can with the seriously underrated and well, actually it's not underrated at all, is it? It's underpowered. Just take a look at that community post and you'll see how bad our comparison is to the other teams. I'm surprised we even finish as high as we do in a lot of these races, but across the line that is a 1:31, so it's a full second behind Pecco. Clearly not as fast as we were with Power Steering 3, although it does feel faster. I don't know how I can really explain that to you, but the bike moves a lot more nimble, it's more agile, but it feels quicker, like I'm going into the corners with carrying so much more speed, but clearly it's not working out that way. But I don't want to use Power Steering 3 because now I'm in a groove with the second power option, and honestly, catching up to Pecco is an impossible task. I'm not going to be able to do that. I need to be consistently hitting the low 129s or possibly 128s to have a chance of beating the number 1. Maybe next season. Maybe next season. But as it stands, looking at the fuel gauge, I don't understand why it's showing me plus 4.2 laps of fuel. I think it might be bugged here in Mandalikas, and I don't want to chance it with the third power option because that clearly is incorrect. There's no way we've saved that much fuel. I don't know. I'm not sure on that one, ladies and gentlemen. Let me know in the comment section down below. I do have a theory that it could be the case of the laps being reduced here in Mandalika, but it's still classed as a 50% race. Maybe that's why it looks so different. I don't know. We had no issues in the sprint, but obviously you never do anyway. So out of the final corner, onto the power and across the line. This is a 129, but it is only a 129.9, so not particularly impressive against the numero uno at top of the pile right now. But Oliveira, we aren't shaking him away, are we? He's still there. Within 0.7 of a second is the Portuguese rider. Ooh, that was really tight to the apex. Really tight, acquiring our second track limit warning here in the early stages of the Indonesian GP. We've got to be careful here. We're off the circuit now. Calm down a little bit. No need to be so aggressive in these corners. Just keep it together, keep running the same pace, and we should be a shoo-in for that second place. But I will be honest, I'm a little bit concerned about the weather conditions. Just looking at it, it's got, oh my lord, we're off the track again. I've got to calm down here, got to stay focused. Off the circuit again, getting a third track limit warning. I don't want a repetition of Buda. That was, oh my goodness, now we're downshifting. We got to stay focused here. My whole thought process was I was worried about the weather. I noticed at the beginning it did say that there would be some weather, or precipitation should I say. However, it doesn't always mean that it will actually rain, so I'm going to take it as a pinch of salt. I don't have the audio on for the beginning of the game where you have like Matt Burt or I think it used to be, it might be Gavin Emmett on some versions. I don't have the voiceover at the beginning, so I believe it usually tells you if it's going to be a wet weather situation or not. I only recently discovered that. But yeah, I don't know. I really don't know, but if it's going to do it, it's going to have to do it soon. I mean, in Catalonia we had it on the penultimate lap, right at the end of the sprint. That was against Johan Zarco, of course. If you didn't see that video, I highly recommend that. The video was absolutely insane, as the kids would say nowadays. It was unbelievable. Really competitive, went down to the final corner. So definitely check it out if you haven't done already. And in fact, whilst you're having a look around, don't forget to subscribe to the channel. It does help out grow the channel. It helps me build and get the algorithms going for more and more viewers. And of course, it keeps you a good way to be inundated with MotoGP content, and even Ride 5 when I occasionally upload that as well. So, as it stands, we are, what, 1.5 ahead of Miguel Oliveira. How close is Bastianini? He looks to be on the tail of the RNF Aprilia. Marquez must be in there as well, same as Bezzecchi, Vinales, and possibly Binder as well. You can see that big group behind us. If you cast your eyes to the bottom left-hand corner of your screen, you'll see Pecco is in blue, leading by a country mile. He's already across the line. And that kicks off our rider standing. And then the rest of us, the red paddle is me, and then the couple of riders behind us is the battle for what? 4th place? Oh man, that's going to be a tough fight. But a look at the championship standings, we would have secured 5th position. Gaining 20 points here today would be absolutely crucial for our aspirations of finishing in the top 3 positions in this championship. Might not be the bridesmaid, it'd be the bridesmaid's runner-up, but it's still incredible for a first season here in MotoGP on a criminally underpowered gas. It is just so weak in every single track, but we're on the limit every single time to keep us in contention. The goal was to finish in the top 15. That's all the game said. Good luck to you, finish in the 15th place. We'll be happy. I think we did one better than that. My goal personally was to finish in the top 10, and to do what? Top 5 would be even more impressive. Can't think of anything of a better way to really do this season, honestly. 120% difficulty is no joke here in MotoGP 23 career mode. It's not too bad in normal sessions, like if you do quick race or maybe a championship mode. But when you have the bike development and you're trying to upgrade the bike, it's very difficult to fight against the impossible sometimes 120% difficulty. You may have seen the Saxon Ring, you may have seen the wet race and the Silverstone race. They're very, very difficult when the AI is on their game, and they are on their game in those tracks. Oh, we're going deep. We're going deep into turn 1. A little bit of a concentration loss there. Quick look behind us twice to see where is Miguel Oliveira. I don't want to hinder his progress in case I'm running back onto the circuit and hitting him. It'll be a classic Ride 5 online lobby, that. Get back onto the circuit and instantly knock off the rider who's just still on the track. I have seen that too much in my time, I swear. I think I've even had videos on it on the channel, like YouTube Shorts and whatnot. Some riders have no awareness whatsoever. Unbelievable. So a quick look at the gap to Jack Miller as well now. We have 90 points ahead of Jack, so the next race will culminate in a bit of a showdown, as let's say, because of course usually this always ends up to being that you do a couple of races where you go back and forth, you beat them in that objective, and then your next objective will be to beat them again to gain major brownie points for your manufacturer. So with Jack being the factory KTM rider, it could be a chance to really show the Austrian manufacturer what we can do with this bike. Clearly they know what we're doing with this bike. We've had more victories and more podiums than the KTM team. And correct me if I'm wrong, I think we're the only rider... Yeah, I think we are. I think we're the only manufacturer to win a race that isn't a Ducati this season. I don't recall seeing a Honda, I don't recall seeing a KTM or a Yamaha, just Ducati. Maybe Aprilia. Now I think about it, I think Maverick Vinales won a sprint in Kota, but I don't remember a full featured race won by anyone that isn't a factory Ducati rider. So, yeah, bear that in mind for how decent our performance has been this season. So onto the right hand side then, we've got a 1/10 of a second difference with our fastest lap set earlier on, which was about lap 4, to this one here. So not a bad performance, if I do say so myself, but could be a little bit better. I actually expected a bit more, but we have been using power setting 2, and at this stage of the race I don't see any purpose of using power setting 3. I do feel that I probably should have been using it, but it just didn't feel comfortable. Since the colder temperatures with the medium front and the medium rear, it just didn't feel the same for me. In the sprint, power setting 3, hard front, medium rear was a great combination. Here in this race, not so much. Obviously different situation, different points on offer, different pressures and different stresses in a full featured MotoGP race. Bit deep there for turn 16. Downshifting sequentially to first as we get back onto the power and then into the left-hander. Be careful not to go too tight there, because sometimes there's a small bump and it'll make you crash if you go running straight across that rumble strip. So across the line, that will begin the penultimate lap. We have a lap time of a 1:30.135. Let's try and get back into a rhythm now. We did the one mistake a moment ago, the 1:37.68 where we ran. Wait. Oh no, no, I've been distracted. It's rain, ladies and gentlemen. We have a flag-to-flag situation here on the penultimate lap here in Mandalika. We'll get away with this lap, but the next lap, my goodness, that's going to be wild. How on earth are we going to fend off against all those riders behind us as the rain comes down? And we're on our final track limit warning now. I completely lost my head when I was looking at I was looking at see if it was rain as I was doing those first couple of corners, the flip-flop section. And then I realised it, yeah, it's definitely raining. And it's raining quite heavily as well, so you know how quickly the track gets wet here in MotoGP 23. And it's evident already with our lap time. We're 0.6 of a second down already. There's a bit of subconsciousness into that as well, but the bite immediately feels strange. It doesn't have the corner speed, and I'm worried that we might catch ourselves out on the brakes here. There it is. There's the flag to flag. The marshals are waving. Well, theoretically they're waving their white flags. Unfortunately, don't in the game. But that would be it. That would be the time to come in now and change tyres. But I'm not doing that. There's no point. It's a final lap of the race. We can tiptoe ourselves away to win this one, I'm sure, or to finish second, let's say. Pecco Bagnaia is a country mile ahead of the rest of us. He's already won this one. No problem for him. It's just down to us. Can we hold off Miguel Oliveira? Can we hold off Bastianini and possibly a fast-charging Marc Marquez? Not names I want behind me, to be quite honest with you, but we'll see what happens. So here it is. The final lap here in Mandalika. Pecco's disappeared. Miguel's closing in the gap. He's within 0.3 of a second, but we are quick here this part. Hold it together. The bike is not turning. We're losing a dramatic amount of time now. 1.5 seconds is what we've lost on this exchange already. Miguel is closing in. Here he is. Here comes the Portuguese rider, the number 88, in pursuit of my second place. That would possibly be his full featured MotoGP podium this season. That's his first. So that's important for Miguel. He wants this one. But just take the third. Don't bother me, just leave me to it. Oh, I can't turn. I really can't turn now. This final corner is going to be absolutely horrendous for me. Bit of contact there going onto the right-hander as Miguel gets pushed to the distance. Oh, and Bastianini! He's come through. Enea Bastianini's got the position. He's taken second in the latter stage of this race. Miguel Oliveira, who was a shoo-in for the podium a moment ago, has now lost it. We're going to hold on just barely as we power on power setting 3 for the final run to the line. Oliveira's dropped to 5th. Marquez pinches 4th, but we take another valiant podium. What a race. What a situation to be in right in the death there as well. Goodness me. So there you are then, guys. Look at that result on screen. Pecco Bagnaia, 1.2 seconds quicker than anyone on that list right there. He is an absolute beast. Poor old Oliveira, though, finishing in 5th. He was right there with it the entire race and deserved 3rd. But nonetheless, we managed to steal it, and we're now getting closer to that 3rd place in the championship. But at the very least, I want to get Zarco. At the very least. And did Taka Nakagami get a point? Oh, Taka. With 5 rounds remaining. You need to do something, Taka. You've got to do something, mate. You've got to get a point eventually. Well, there you are then, guys. Oh, we did move up into 5th place in the Teams Championship. That's good to see. But, guys, that's it from me. Thank you very much for watching this video. I certainly hope you enjoyed. If you did, let me know in the comments section down below. And don't forget to like and subscribe. But, guys, that's it from me. Thanks for watching. I will see you in tomorrow's video. Ciao for now. Oh hi, didn't quite see you there. Good to see you're still here. If this video didn't quite sate your appetite, then why not watch some more DrAce content by clicking the video shown on screen now. Furthermore, if you would like to follow me on social media, you can do so now with the links down in the description. Consider subscribing so you don't miss a single DrAce video.